You know what I zoomed in on today or last night,
Hmm.
actually? I
What?
was doing a little cleaning after you were so sweet to come and visit with the kids, and
Which?
it was great. Um, I there were a lot of places that I didn't know that there were Doritos until I started cleaning, and I was like, "Oh, this is so interesting."
Where
How
were the Doritos?
they were in every room, just little crumbles of Doritos everywhere.
What?
I know, isn't that
When did
fun?
they take Doritos?
I think I don't think they took Doritos into the rooms. I think there
Okay.
were just crumbs attached to their person, and
Yes.
they
Yeah.
just
That
running
makes. Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Like they weren't full on triangle Doritos. It was just lots of Dorito crumbs, and it was in
From their mouths.
all three rooms and all down the hallway.
Oh,
And I was like, "This is interesting," but I got them up. So, and
that's
you know,
incredible.
I love Doritos, so I didn't really have a problem with a little extra seasoning around the house.
You you were such a great host, and I just can't even Ew, excuse me. I can't even stress enough how with Love Amanda it felt.
Oh,
Like
that's really sweet.
just flowers, snacks for everyone, incredible accommodations. You were so gracious and flexible with everything. I was just like, we're home. This is home. Then I was
Anytime.
like, but we will just leave some Dorito crumbs and get out of
Well, you
here.
got to let people know that you were here, and it
Yeah.
was really good
Hmm.
to know that. So,
Yeah. It's kind of like leave your sparkle.
mhm.
It's like leave your crumb trail.
Leave your Cool Ranch seasoning.
Yeah. Do you remember when it was MJ's maybe first Christmas? Maybe no, her like second Christmas. So she was, old enough to kind of understand the idea of Santa.
Hmm.
And I woke up really early and there were all these like cookie crumbs all over the ground. So at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm vacuuming. And then Kyle wakes up, we do Christmas. And I was like, oh my gosh, there were like crumbs everywhere. And he goes, oh, I did that. So she would think Santa had come. And I was like,
Don't do that.
please don't ever crumble cookies onto the carpet. I was like, well, I vacuumed up Christmas magic because I thought surely it had been from MJ eating cookies or something, you know?
Yeah. I love that he either did it intentionally or he was just late night snacking and he was like, oh, I'll call it Santa. And like they drop on the floor and they just crumble. And he's like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, he's gotten increasingly better at dad magic, I think,
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
in
sure
the
he
in the
has
years
in the years.
since.
You know what was also magic was this show and also getting to watch a bulk of it with you.
It's true because I came down to Texas and I still had like 5 episodes left.
Yes. And I was ready to watch it again.
And it was great.
Hmm.
I'm in love with Love Story, and
You're
I'm
in love
ready to
with Lester?
brief. I'm ready to
Like
brief it up.
Calvin, are you ready to Calvin Klein brief it?
And yeah, I'm ready to pull down that. What is it called? What are those little like lines called on the abdomen?
Oh, I call them hot
Cum
lines.
gutters.
I thought I wasn't going to have to edit this one. I could just quickly throw it up.
You can cut out that.
Yeah, I just
But you,
call them hot
yeah,
lines. But the
hot
people
lines.
people watching it can see.
What else they're called?
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you brief it?
Okay, let me count down. 1, 2, 3. What's more iconic? What's more classic than JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy? I think the answer on all of our hearts is nothing. Nothing compares to these two, this duo from the 90s, except for maybe 90s fashion, which also was featured prominently in FX's Love Story. Some might call this show melodramatic. Some might call this show over the top. I called this show the cherry on top of my Sunday evening streaming. I loved it. I think you would love it. And I think that all the hot takes about it being too much or not talked about with the family or whatever criticisms can take a back seat in this love ride. 10 out of 10 planes.
Okay. Well,
I'm
you
not
did
as
it.
good. I'm not as good at an improvised brief. I need to be back writing them down. But this show was very good and very well written down.
It
In my
was
opinion.
very well written down. I think you know I am mildly obsessed with this show because it was very nostalgic for me. Before we get into it though, let's ask a couple of the hard-hitting questions, which were what did you know about it going in to the show and did you like it?
Okay. I know it was Ryan Murphy who also did Only Suits fans or Only Show fans show favorite All's Fair by Kim Kardashian West. Or Kim Kardashian. Oh my God, what is going on with my mouth today? I keep
Yeah.
saying the wrong things. Kim Kardashian and Ryan Murphy. So I knew that. And Naomi Watts is in it, which is a nice little callback to All's Fair, which I know we all love. And I knew that it had some people talking and people trying to dress like her again, Carolyn Bessette, and people really, really yapping about it. I also saw like people who are close to the family, like Carol Radziwill, kind of saying, "Oh, this is kind of not true." So I knew like some things were going to be artistic interpretation of events, but I
Okay.
felt like the spirit of those events rings true.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you
did
already
like
said that
it.
in the brief. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. How about you? Would you know?
I knew all of that stuff, I think, that you said. I didn't know about people close to the family. Not, I hadn't done the research on the actual show. I am just a smidge older than you, Maggie. And most of the time, that does not impact our incredible relationship. But sometimes when we're throwing it back to a different decade, that difference, we were 10 years apart, right? We were 10 years apart. 10
Yeah.
years is a huge difference when it comes to that era. And this was the it couple that like we wanted to be and that we tried to dress like. And I remember them being in the news all of the time. I mean, they were always in the news. So I feel like whatever they got wrong about this show, they got right in that era of, or in that like, space of making sure they were always in the news. It was also incredibly nostalgic because of the fashion and the music and the smoking and just like all of it was all so because they were just a few years ahead, right? Not a
Right.
few. I mean, they were essentially like 10 years ahead of me, 10 or 12 years ahead of me. So that's not true. I think they would be 60 right now. I am not 50. Let me make sure the listeners know that I am not 50 years old. So they
Not.
were they were more than 2 years ahead of me. But anyways,
Yeah. So I also knew like about not from the show, but I knew that my mom really loved JFK Jr. and she also really loved Carolyn and her style. In
yes,
fact, like when I was I think I was in elementary school when they got married, and my
yes,
mom like cut out her dress and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the wedding dress you should have," which I did not know, and I did not pick a dress like that.
you
But
didn't. Nothing
great.
like that.
No. But I should have because now I'm like, dang, that's a really good dress.
Yeah,
That's a classic dress.
it's a very classic dress.
I also knew when they died on the plane that it was like right before my 7th grade year because my social studies teacher had the cover of Time with him on it, like on the bulletin board about like history, like what history in the now. And boy, was he right. Mr. Kilborn was right. That is history because now there's a whole TV show about it.
I don't even know where to start because, man, I miss him so much. I mean, that could be our president right there. I think I did say in one episode, that's my president. Because,
Gosh, can you imagine?
yeah, I think he would have been our president either now or had already been, you know?
Even though in the show they talk about her not wanting him to do that, obviously he would do that.
Yeah, he would do it.
And she would obviously be okay with it
Yes,
because, of course, he's going to be president.
yes.
We never got to live that timeline.
No, but I
That
like to
was
think about
stolen
it.
from us.
Feels like fan fiction waiting to happen.
What would it be like? I would vote for him. I don't even know what he'd be running on. I'd vote for him.
I think, I mean, it's very much a Democratic ticket, I think, for him.
Yeah, but then you look at his cousin
I know.
and you don't know.
We
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
We don't
We don't
know.
know. We don't know what side quest he would go on, but I think no matter what side quest he would be on, I would be on it too. I'd be on
Really.
a little jet ski, around Martha's Vineyard on whatever quest he was on. I'd be like, "That's me. That's my president."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, you know what? We're saying no to indoor plumbing." And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's overrated." I don't know, like something that would be horrible. I'd still be like,
You'd
"That's
still
it.
be him.
That's my
Yeah.
guy."
That's your
That
guy.
hair, his
There is
hair.
the actor who played JFK Jr. literally looks like they dug him out of the grave and brought him back to life. There has never been, I can't name an actor who is playing like just doing historical fiction like this. Name an actor who looks more like the actual dead person than
I can't.
in this show. I can't
I
either.
can't. I can't. They must have swum out into the Atlantic Ocean,
Uh-huh.
collected
Took
all the
all
cremation,
all the ashes.
put it in like a clone machine, right?
Like a
And
ninja
then
bullet.
and they did it immediately, right? Because the actor who played him probably was born. No, he was probably born before he died.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, they did something with a ninja bullet. They got him all zhuzhed up. They birthed JFK Jr.
Yes.
And
Truly,
that's how they got this actor.
it was
Hollywood will never be the same.
it was almost unbelievable to watch sometimes how accurate it was. She did not look as much like Carolyn Bessette, I don't think, as he looked like JFK Jr. She was still fantastic. She was so
Great
good.
acting. Yes.
She
And
almost
have
had
you
her,
seen
she
her
had
as
her,
a brunette?
yes,
Totally different person.
I know. You said that. You're like, this is like goes to show what a little color can do, right?
Yeah. Like that color. Do you get those Instagram reels where it tells you, like, what's your color? Are you a gold or a silver, a warm or a cool? Do you
I
get
think
those?
yeah, but I think I'm universal, so it doesn't really matter.
You're timeless, you're classic. But also, have you ever held up 5 different shades of green to see which color is your color?
No, should we do that right now?
Yeah, we should. You know what I saw someone do? They just went to like Lowe's in front of all the paint samples, and they just walked in front of them until someone was like, "That's it. That color looks good on you."
What are you? What are you? Are you warm or cool?
I don't know because I've not had someone actually do it, and I always get it wrong. Like every time there's a reel, it's like, pick which green is my green. And then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm always like, oh, definitely that one. And then I look at the comments and it's like, not that. And
Oh,
everyone
when you're trying
agrees.
to assess it for somebody else?
Yes, like I can't assess it. I can't
Okay.
do it. I can't.
Okay. We'll do that on
You
another
know?
pod. We'll do a special edition,
Special edition color analysis.
color analysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of things that, again, I said that what was nostalgic for me was the fashion. Calvin Klein was so big. CK1 was like my scent. So
Your scent.
yeah, it was I wore it all the time. Like I had the big bottle of it. And anyways, so I loved Calvin Klein, those ads, like all of that is very nostalgic for me. The dressing like that, very nostalgic. There was this one time where they're in the apartment and they end up like jumping and dancing around and she's wearing a sweatshirt and then she has her t-shirt hanging out of it. And that is such a look. And that got me to the core. The sweatshirt with the t-shirt hanging out. We used to do that all the time. And so that is actually how I'll be dressing come fall. Just want everybody
Yes.
to know. I'm going to go ahead and
Yes.
bring that back. And I don't think it's like I'm copying them because I did this. Like if I could find a throwaway camera picture of me because we didn't really have digital back then, I promise you, we're all lined up in the front of the sorority house wearing our sweatshirts with a t-shirt hanging out of it. Like kind
Yes.
of evenly too, like it looked like it was thrown on, but like your t-shirt had to be longer than your sweatshirt.
And the t-shirt flat or the t-shirt ruffled?
Well, it's not ruffled, but like we wore crunchy tees. So I'm wearing like a looser fit today in honor, crunchy tee. Like I hate a baby tee. And I think baby tees are so stupid. And so literally we'll fight somebody over the idea that we even came up with baby tees for women. We're grown ass women tees. Okay. So I'm wearing like a looser vintage cut tee and what I also like to call a crunchy tee. And I used to tell you this back in the day at
Yeah.
BCH that I always loved a crunchy tee because it felt a little more structured and polished, you know?
Yeah. And then when you throw your sweatshirt over it, it's got some
It's got a
some
little
personality.
personality at the bottom for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Like a bed skirt.
It is like a bed skirt, but not like a ruffled cottage core bed skirt. You
No.
know, it's like,
No.
look at this bed skirt just hanging out doing its thing, kind of
Yeah.
unbothered, like she
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I appreciated how like kind of messy and yet still sleek she was, you know? She wasn't like putting on a bunch of makeup.
Right.
She wasn't getting her hair all done. Her hair was just always in a pony or down, and
She
she
had
just had this thick
fantastic hair.
hair. Yeah. That was something Carol Radziwill said. She was like, a lot of people are saying, oh, she would totally would have been like a clean girl influencer. And she goes, she absolutely would not have been a clean girl influencer. She wore her hair up because she did not want to wash it. Like she was just effortlessly cool and beautiful and like bohemian in a way that was also so classic with
And
the
so
Calvin
chic.
Klein and so chic. Like only she can pull that off.
Well, I'm going to try.
And us.
Yes.
I wasn't done. Only she and us
Yes.
can pull that off. That was
Yes.
the rest of what I was going to say.
Stunning.
The thing, here's a depo for you. They were such an iconic couple. A couple years before it, there was Diana, who was like this it girl, right? And that had been the wedding to watch. I don't think that there's anyone like that.
We've
Like
talked
there's no
about this.
there's no eligible bachelor like JFK Jr.
No,
Who? No one.
there's not right now. There really isn't.
Like no one is in the no one has America's hearts and minds
I don't think
like
so.
like him.
I don't think
There
they
isn't
do.
one.
There isn't one, which is interesting.
But if you were to pick one celebrity that you think you would love a story with, you would let him swoop you into his crazy paparazzi life. You
Can
gotta
he be
on
married?
all the time? Yeah, let's say in this fantasy he can be divorced, he can be single, whatever. It's yours. Yours for the picking.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
Isn't he
He's got
just
an
the
A-
best?
Yeah, you have like an Ava Mendez look.
You know what? I've been told that by you just now.
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Ryan Gosling.
Musketeer.
And so funny and so great and gracious and very supportive of women and just,
He
yeah.
was in Barbie, for goodness sake.
Yeah. And he was just Ken.
He's just Ken, and
Yeah.
he's good with that.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, this he's kind of like a Dallas celebrity. Um, a lot of people know him, but he's not like super A-list. But Kyle Austin,
Oh, okay. I've heard of him.
yeah, yeah,
Heard of him,
very
but
funny,
yeah.
very handsome. That would be my
Okay.
number one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good, safe answer because we do know he listens every week.
It would be my answer, even if he didn't. But I love you, babe.
How would you feel being swept into royalty with me if I was marrying Ryan Gosling? How would you guys
I
handle
would
this?
love it. I would love it. Because I'd just be like, you know, when like Kate Middleton and William got married and then it was just Pippa, her sister. She just like pops in a nice outfit and then everyone's like, wow, we love the sister-in-law. Like we love, wow. And then pops out and gets to live her life. Honestly,
I'd be doing the heavy lifting for you.
and,
you
I,
get to-
and
you
as
just
you
feel
do,
like- and you're like,
as
just-
you do anyways.
You're like, just show me the coattails. I'm gonna hop right on and just ride those coattails.
I would be so good at riding coattails.
I think you would. You'd be really great.
I
at it.
am so good at riding coattails. I'm
are you
like a
talking about?
surfer. I'm like a professional coattail surfer.
Coattail surfer.
No, that would be an ideal role for me.
Yeah.
That would be so good, Amanda. Amanda.
Okay. You already gave me one thing I needed to be manifesting. I'll add this to the list.
For our listeners, Amanda's a very good manifester, and so I've decided that when I have something I need to happen, I'm giving it to her to do it.
Yeah.
Because
But I can't just
Some
do
things need to
this for
happen.
everybody all the time. Like I have to really be
Yeah.
intentional. And I also, I can't have to, I'm not able to manifest for others if I also don't believe that it should happen for them too.
Yeah. And I haven't asked for like something specifically for me. I just benefit from the things that I am requesting for you.
That's true. That is true.
So add it to the list.
Yep.
Your morning meditations.
My morning meditations. Maggie, there was a big thing that happened in this, a lot of things that happened. And we started to talk about it, but I said, let's say before the podcast. And it was her watching when Diana was killed. And that
Yes.
hit home for her because we actually haven't even done a summary of this, but this is all like this isn't a new plot.
Everyone knows.
This is the
Yeah.
story.
Except for,
Um,
wait, everyone knows except for Laura, who we went out to dinner with, my friend from Austin.
Yes.
She goes, oh, yeah, I haven't watched that yet. What's she up to these days? And I was like, who? And she said, Carolyn.
And she did not show she had died. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun moment. And sad.
Okay, I'm sorry. So spoilers, this is all history, so you should know it.
Yeah, and Carolyn is very upset by this. Obviously, America, I mean, everybody was upset by this.
Everyone.
It was really hitting her, I think, a little bit different because they were just in the height of the paparazzi on them 24/7. I mean, they show a scene where they're on top of their car and they're trying to leave and they can't drive away to go have brunch because there are people on the windshield and on the dash. Like this is, or on the hood of the car. And
Yeah.
she was more private and like reserved and didn't really want to be in the spotlight 24/7 as portrayed in the show. So when this happened, she said, they did this. The paparazzi did this because that was all like a paparazzi chase. How that car wreck happened. And then JFK Jr. says, somebody's about to have to wake up and tell those kids tomorrow before they see it on the news that their mother passed away, which was a little reminiscent of him, but he was 3 when his father was shot here in Dallas, of all places. And he doesn't really remember that. So that's not a vivid memory. He just remembers what people have told him and what he's seen in the media. So it's a really interesting moment. And then she's just really like wrapped up in it. So I guess my question is, do you remember where you were when you found out Princess Diana had died?
Yeah, I do, because I had gone down to my neighbor down the street's house, and her stepdad was from England.
Okay.
And he was like a 6'4", big, tall guy, and he was sitting in the den crying,
Okay.
watching
At night,
watching all of it.
on a Saturday
No,
night?
so I guess it was Sunday morning then when I went over,
Okay.
because time change, you know.
Yeah, well, it was like late Saturday night when I found it, I think.
Well, because where were you?
Middle of the night.
Why were you
Well-
awake at the middle of the night?
Well, I was a little older, and I believe it was the night I had just pledged my sorority, if I remember correctly. And when did she die? Was it
I
90?
think I was in like third grade.
What year?
98, 97. Let
Yeah,
me see.
97, I believe. We're going to probably pull it up as an August of 97 or early September of 97.
Oh, wait, I don't have my Wi-Fi on, so I can't look it up. We're just going to have to do where we just think it was then, and then we're right about it. Or do you want to look it up?
It was pledge night. I do want to look it up because I was either
Okay.
a pledge or I just initiated people. Hang on. When did Princess Diana die? Now I have to cut this. Yeah. Yeah, this was my pledge
It's
night.
at 22 minutes,
Yeah.
23 minutes.
Okay. August 31st, 1997. Princess Diana passes away. I pledge Kappa Kappa Gamma. I'm having a grand old time, and I'm out on the town. I was underage drinking, so my parents don't listen to this podcast, so they'll never find out. But I did
the police
some. Yeah, the police will come back. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that from 1997. I just told you guys how old I was. Freshman in college, but I started college when I was 12. So no, and I'm a regular Doogie Howser over here.
Amazing, you also made the cut for a sorority when you were a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it didn't
That's how
matter. They
sophisticated
didn't care.
you were in a suit, so it was kind of.
They did say we're going to treat you like we do all our other pledges. So
Yeah.
we had a good time that night, And in order to kind of soak up some of that underage drinking that I had done, we went to Taco Cabana and we went inside because that's where you could get like extra pico and salsa like for free because they would never give you enough through the drive-through. I'm learning all this for the first time because I'm like new to school, okay? So I'm like learning all
Yeah.
of these things.
All the hacks.
Uh-huh. And I was all of a sudden kind of tired. And so I just needed to take a nap. And I just curled up on a picnic table outside on the patio at Taco Cabana and took a little nap. Now my friends didn't leave me, but that people were walking around me was not a big deal. And I was not on the bench. I was on top of the table,
Yeah. It's more
closely
comfortable.
cuddling that pico de gallo, as you would. And then somebody came and woke me up because they were crying. And I like did this whole like, what, where am I? And they had a huge TV at Taco Cabana out on the patio, but it was one of those like in a stand type TVs. It was a big screen, but it was on a big base. It wasn't a flat screen, which is also very similar to the first TV I ordered for like my first big girl apartment, and it was like huge and thick and could barely get through the door. So it was one of those huge TVs out in the patio, and then we all stood up in our little pledge outfits and cried and watched that. And I mean, I think we were crying, but also like we were starting to get a hangover. So I think it was a lot of things that were happening, and
Yeah.
that's where I was when I found out Princess Diana passed away.
What a mood killer.
Right? I was wearing khakis, which I feel like are very Carolyn Bassett-ish too. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, wow. Uh that's so like good to you'll always remember that. But also were you kind of like, gosh, of all the nights, I just learned that there's extra pico de gallo in Taco Cabana. I'm
No,
wearing
I
my
knew I
nice
could come back. I
khakis,
knew
you know.
I could come back to Taco
You
Cabana.
weren't. Yeah. The next year when the other pledges were coming, were you nervous that a world disaster would happen or like a
I
big
didn't think
event?
twice about it. Didn't think twice about it.
Not even at all.
No, I wasn't into manifesting, so I wasn't really worried about it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is seventh grade is where my high school teacher had the JFK Jr. after the plane crash picture up in his room. The next year I was in eighth grade, and that's when 9/11 happened.
No.
2 years in a row.
Oh, did they? I thought they died in 1999.
Did he have it up from 2 years later?
Yeah, let me look.
Google it.
I'm pretty sure
Google
it
it.
was in when did?
They died in the 90s. They never made it to the millennia?
Uh-uh. They didn't have a. Oh gosh.
But I remember George magazine because my parents got it. So I feel
Yeah,
like George
July 16th,
99.
1999.
So he just had that cover up for 2 years. He didn't update his bulletin board.
It's on a teacher's budget, Maggie. What do you expect?
Kilborn, I take back any praise I gave for you just now. You should there should have been some event happening
There could
in
have been other things. You
2000.
just remember that one.
Yeah.
That
Huh.
was a big one.
That was a big one. I guess it was big even a year later,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
A couple of things I want to talk about. What did you think about um, Calvin Klein?
I thought it was probably a pretty accurate portrayal of him. I mean, I don't know the man, but I feel like the way that they portrayed him was like really willing to give people a hand, but also really hyper controlling and very specific about what he wanted. It seems like that is Devil Wears Prada boss from the 90s.
Yeah.
That's, I
Miranda
mean,
Priestley.
yeah, you know, like that's just the vibe that I got, and that
Yeah.
seems like what he would be like.
Yeah.
What'd you think? You liked him?
I loved him. I thought he was great. I mean, the character,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
that I would want to work for him, but I thought that the character was done really well. I also thought that the girl who played Caroline did a really good job.
I thought so too. A lot of Carols,
Yes.
Carolines.
And
A
then we
lot
need
like,
we need to talk about Naomi Watts as Jackie.
okay. Before we talk about Naomi Watts as Jackie, because we do need to talk about Naomi Watts as Jackie, I just want to come back to the magazine George because I feel like that was ahead of its time. Maybe
Yeah,
not
it's
necessarily
like
as a magazine, but the concept of pop culture and politics merging and like making politics something that people want to talk about and are engaging in
oh, you mean
as
like
like
now?
entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost became an edutainment magazine. Could have been.
Yes. Yeah. and everyone was kind of knocking it in the show. They were talking about like, oh, no one's ever going to want to do that. Who wants to talk about that? And then now I feel like that's all people talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like that's the magazine version of like My So-Called Life, which was a TV show that I feel like was also ahead of its time.
Which I didn't watch.
Yeah. Only one season. One of the best shows that ever happened. My So-Called Life. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll watch it sometime.
Yeah, yeah,
Throw
yeah,
it
yeah.
back.
We should
Throw it back.
throw it back. Okay,
Yeah.
now we'll talk about
Well, you said your
Naomi Watts.
parents, subscribed to George.
George. Yeah, but I think that was pretty like the Wreath family, my dad's side of the family. I think politics has always been entertainment for them,
Okay.
you know? So very very like like even the dinner table where like the matriarch is like pitching questions
yeah.
about what's going on.
Ethel
I was
Kennedy.
like, oh, this just feels like some weird game that my uncles would play, you know?
Yeah. That was an intense dinner. The first
That
time
was an
Carolyn
intense
goes to meet
dinner.
all the family, and Ethel Kennedy, who is now the matriarch of the family since Jackie had died, really like, and somebody had said before, make sure you're up to date on, current events and politics. And she was drilling down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting because the Kennedys just had so many, like churned out so many politicians,
Yes.
right?
And they also had so much tragedy in their lives.
Also churned out so much tragedy. Also, like so much controversy. And it's got to be hard to be in a family that big. I wonder if part of it is they were just such a big family, you know? So many of them and so much money too, that like there's going to be a lot of things that happen when you have that many people in your life and the
Yeah.
eyes are on you. So it's just everything's magnified,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, should we now talk about Naomi Watts as
Yeah, we should talk about Naomi
Jacqueline
Watts.
Kennedy Onassis?
Absolutely.
Okay. She's not American.
That's fair. She's not. That's a
She
true
doesn't
statement.
know. She doesn't know.
It was a little rich for me.
It was a little rich for me. Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, it was a little much. It was a little much. The smoking and dancing to Camelot was a little much.
Yeah.
The portrayal, but I guess Jackie Kennedy did kind of sound like that.
Yeah, still a little much though.
Just a little much. Tone it down a little bit. This is made for TV.
I think we were at an 11 and we needed to bring it back down to an 8 because I think Jackie was a lot, but still a little bit demure sometimes. And I wasn't completely getting that from her. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't fault her. Again, Naomi Watts is not from America, so hard to play America's
hard to play.
Widow.
it is hard to play America's Widow, for sure.
When you're not from, like, it's like even you're a great actor and you have incredible skills, but like this is a role that really, it's like Natalie Portman did it, you know? And like that's kind of how it's got to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to ruffle any eagle feathers, but
I think it's fine.
it's just got to be that way.
Yeah. It was a lot, but I think we got through it,
Yeah. That was honestly maybe the only blip for me.
Yeah.
Everything else I
Everything you
loved.
loved. What'd you think about all the smoking?
That was the 90s for me. Not that I was smoking in my primary years, but all the grown-ups around me smoked.
Yes.
Every adult I knew
Everybody
smoked.
smoked, and they smoked everywhere.
Everywhere.
And that was a
Everywhere.
reminder for me that like everybody smoked and everybody smoked everywhere when I watched that show.
Yeah. I mean, I think that in my 5th grade math teacher's classroom, they had like outlawed that teachers can't smoke in the classroom when I was in elementary school. But there was still like ceiling tiles that had smoke, like the yellowed tar from
Yeah.
cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
So at one point, she had been in her room smoking so much at her desk that the ceiling tiles were displaying tar.
That's so wild. And it's so gross.
Such a different time. I mean, it was like you could smoke in restaurants, you could
Yeah.
smoke at a preschool, probably. You could be like outside a preschool just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we opened DCH, you could still smoke inside, and we made the decision not to let people smoke inside. We would sometimes smoke when it shut down. People would have some cigarettes afterwards, like if it was closed, but like we didn't make it smoking to the public when they were there because we didn't just want it to be a smoky comedy club. But it was
Yeah.
totally they changed that rule a few years after we opened. I mean, you could still smoke in the city of Dallas until 2011, I believe. I think it was like April of
Ye-
2011 or August of
That's
2011.
crazy. I
Yeah.
remember when they made in New York State like smoking and non-smoking sections of restaurants, and we got seated with like my grandparents and cousins. We got seated in non-smoking because we were with like a bunch of kids and stuff. But my grandmother smoked, and she just went over and grabbed an ashtray from the smoking session and brought it over to smoke in the non-smoking section. And the waiter was like, "You can't do that." And she goes, "Oh, is the air over here different from the air?" She was so mad. She was like, "It's like literally 2 tables away is the smoking section. This makes no sense."
It doesn't now. I mean, I worked in a
Yeah.
restaurant in college, and we had the bar area had like three booths and two high tops, and then the bar top, and that was smoking, which is wild because it was completely connected. It was a Johnny Carino's. It was
It's
connected to
just
everything else.
like,
An
yeah,
open
it's
air
like the
kitchen
air is
too.
air.
The open
Yeah.
air kitchen too, like that smoke's like, it's making its way over a skilletini and some Italian nachos. So
So wild.
it is wild.
I'm glad smoking's gone though, because it's not good for you.
It's not good and
And
it
it's
smells awful.
stinky.
It's very
And
stinky.
it's teeth get bad,
Everything.
lungs. It's
Yeah.
just a litter, just like butts everywhere. They're
Butts.
called butts.
Yeah.
You're putting butts in your mouth.
Okay, well, that's what she said.
I did
don't
say
know.
that.
Yeah, you did. I don't know. I thought this was excellent. I was worried it was going to be too over the top because it was Ryan Murphy, but I thought it was great.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like American Horror Story season 1, like it was a good show because it's a succinct story. It's a great one that everyone knows. Like, so he's produced some things where like immediately first season everyone loves it.
Yeah.
I also
Loved
like
it.
his American History ones on FX.
Do
Ever
you?
see those? Yeah.
No.
They're kind of the same, a little over the top, but you're like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, that did happen." You know.
No, I don't watch them. But
Okay, well, you
just
could.
you'll see me in on my Calvin Klein. Probably going to buy some CK1 if it's still on the market, maybe off of eBay. And yeah, I'll be channeling that.
You should. And I feel like well, this is, look, I'm just wearing like a plain tee,
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just
I'm
wearing,
nice
wearing
black.
plain tees.
I'm gonna
And I'm
wear
just
the
wearing
black.
some jeans.
Yeah.
I'm ready to walk across New York City
Yeah, you are.
or bike across.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, thank
Hey.
you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What are we watching next week?
It's a great question.
I think we're watching The Pit, season 2.
Next week, we will be watching The Pit season 2 because
Oh.
we are wrapping it up. I have been watching it this whole time.
Okay,
Secrets out. I've been watching every single week The Pit.
I stayed up till 2 a.m. last night. I've watched 6 episodes. So,
Did you love it?
yeah, I mean, you know how obsessed I was with season 1.
I can't wait to see how it ends.
Yeah.
There's a live show, like they're showing it at Alamo Drafthouse in Bayou.
Are they really? What night?
I think Wednesday night. I think it's a night early.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
You should. And I'll be very sad and jealous.
Actually, I might go see that.
You should. And I
Okay.
will be very sad and jealous.
Okay. Well, here we go. Okay, so I guess I'll sign us off.
All right.
Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say in that review, you can say, "This is a love story about a podcast and me that I fell in love with, just like riding a bike through Central Park." I feel like my brain is broken today, and
okay.
so I
think it's good.
appreciate the patience.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll stop that.
Okay. Okay.